On March 13, 2025, the world watched as Russian President Vladimir Putin responded to the United States' proposal for a 30-day ceasefire in Ukraine. The proposal, presented by U.S. envoy Steve Witkoff, aimed to pave the way for peace talks. Putin's response was measured, a blend of cautious acknowledgement and unwavering resolve. He expressed gratitude to former U.S. President Donald Trump, whose involvement in the peace process has been notable. Putin podчеркнул, что the U.S. proposal had merit, acknowledging the global desire for a peaceful resolution. However, Putin's agreement came with a significant caveat. He emphasized that any ceasefire must address the root causes of the conflict. This statement, often repeated by the Russian leader, highlights Moscow's view of the conflict as a symptom of broader geopolitical tensions. Putin stressed that a temporary pause in fighting would be meaningless without a comprehensive agreement that guarantees long-term peace and stability. Putin's response, while seemingly open to diplomacy, hinted at a deeper strategy. His insistence on addressing root causes could be seen as an attempt to shift the blame for the conflict away from Russia. It also served as a reminder that Moscow would not accept a settlement that it perceived as contrary to its interests. Putin's emphasis on root causes is central to understanding Russia's position. Moscow has consistently framed the conflict in Ukraine as a response to NATO expansion and Western encroachment on its sphere of influence. Putin reiterated these concerns, linking the current situation to what he perceives as broken promises and a disregard for Russia's security concerns. Further solidifying Russia's stance, Putin pointed to the situation in the Kursk region, a flashpoint on the Russia-Ukraine border. Despite ongoing tensions, Putin asserted that the region was completely under control. This statement served a dual purpose: to project an image of strength and stability within Russia, and to remind the international community of the spillover effects of the conflict. The 30-day ceasefire, while seemingly a step towards peace, presented a complex dilemma. Putin suggested that such a ceasefire would disproportionately benefit Ukraine, allowing it to regroup and potentially prolong the conflict. This statement underscored Russia's belief that it holds the upper hand militarily. Putin's response was met with a mixture of cautious optimism and deep skepticism from the international community. Belarusian President Alexander Lukashenko, a close ally of Putin, dismissed the U.S. ceasefire proposal as lacking substance. He echoed Putin's sentiments, stating that the proposal failed to address the root causes of the conflict and was likely a tactical maneuver by the U.S. Within Ukraine, the response was even more wary. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky criticized Putin's comments as very manipulative, reflecting the deep mistrust that exists between Kiev and Moscow. Ukrainian public opinion, shaped by months of conflict and loss, remains deeply skeptical of Russia's intentions. The U.S., while acknowledging the challenges, maintained a hopeful stance. U.S. officials expressed cautious optimism about Putin's willingness to engage in dialogue. However, they also emphasized the need for concrete actions from Russia to demonstrate its commitment to peace. The U.S. envoy stressed that a ceasefire must be comprehensive and verifiable, ensuring the safety of all civilians. As the world analyzes Putin's words and actions, the path forward remains uncertain. The U.S. ceasefire proposal, while a significant diplomatic effort, faces considerable obstacles. Deep mistrust between the parties, coupled with ongoing military operations and divergent views on the conflict's root causes, complicate the search for a negotiated settlement. The coming weeks and months will be critical. The success of any ceasefire hinges on Russia's willingness to engage in good faith negotiations and to demonstrate its commitment to peace through concrete actions. The international community must remain actively engaged, providing diplomatic support and holding all parties accountable for their commitments. The alternative, a protracted conflict with devastating consequences for Ukraine and far-reaching implications for global security, is a grim prospect. The stakes are high, and the world waits to see whether diplomacy or deadlock will define the next chapter in this tragic conflict.